The air is heavy with the musk of damp soil and crushed leaves, the forest alive with a chorus of unseen predators. A small band of Australopithecus moves silently beneath the towering canopy, their bare feet pressing carefully into the loam. They are not here to linger. They are here to survive. Every step carries the weight of vigilance, for in these woods the shadows are not empty. What if the trees themselves were home to predators larger than the clan cats, with eyes that glimmer gold in the undergrowth? What if every rustle above meant not safety but death? This is the world of 8.1 million years ago, where humans did not rule but endured. The band carries little but their cunning. Sharpened flakes of stone, napped from river rock, bundles of roots and fruits. Bound by woven leaves and branches, stripped into spears more symbolic than lethal. One female carries a swaddled infant pressed close to her chest, its faint whimper quickly muffled by her hand. Around them, the forest seems to breathe alive with tension, and the clan's formation an instinctive circle with the vulnerable in the middle betrays their awareness of what stalks them. Ahead, the forest narrows into a clearing of broken branches and churned mud. The remains of a fallen tree lie sprawled, bark stripped bare. They know this place. They have seen the signs before. Giant cats, far larger than the leopards of later ages, claim these clearings as their ambush sites. The Australopithecus halt metrals, flaring bodies, crouched stone flakes clutched in trembling fists. One elder raises a hand, not with words, but with gesture, signaling silence. The forest's chatter has hushed. Only the throb of their own hearts remains. A sudden snarl cracks the silence, deep and resonant. From the shadows steps a massive feline, its shoulders rippling like rivers of muscle beneath striped fur, its fangs long and curved, honed for puncturing bone. This is the first test, the first knot in their journey. The clan erupts in movement, no screams, only the frantic rush of survival. Spears thrust outward in a desperate arc, not to kill but to create distance. The predator circles tail-whipping eyes locked on the smallest in their midst. The standoff grows unbearable, and then a young hunter makes a reckless choice. He hurls his sharpened stone with all his strength. It slices the air, striking the beast's flank, drawing only a shallow wound but igniting its fury. The cat lunges, and the forest explodes into chaos. Branches snap, bodies scatter the infant wails. The group splits, half retreating toward the river's glinting edge, half scrambling toward the tangle of vines that promise cover. The predator chooses one path, singling out the weakest. By the water's edge, the fleeing hunters find themselves cornered. The river is swollen from recent rains, churning and hostile, yet it may be their only salvation. One female scoops a broad leaf, folding it into a makeshift cup, pressing water against her child's lips, even as danger closes in. They have learned to use what nature offers: stone for blades, leaf for vessels' fire when it can be coaxed. But in this moment, tools seem fragile against the roar of nature's giants. The cat does not relent. It stalks closer, shoulders swaying in rhythm, eyes burning with hunger. The Australopithecus form a tight circle, backs to the river, spears thrust outward, stone flakes flashing in the filtered light. They know the beast cannot be killed, but they also know fear can be wielded. One of the elders slams a branch against a hollow log, the booming echo rolling through the forest like thunder. Another hurls stones into the water, splashes exploding upward, mimicking the fury of a storm. The predator halts confused for a heartbeat, and in that pause, survival breathes. Yet survival is never won, once it must be fought for again and again. As the cat hesitates, a distant rumble cuts through the forest. The air grows heavier, the canopy shivers, and the first fat drops of rain strike the soil. A storm is coming, and storms in this world are more than weather. They are cataclysms. The sky splits with a flash, thunder shakes the marrow of their bones, and the predator startled vanishes into the undergrowth with a hiss. Relief surges through the band, but it is short-lived. The storm itself is now their enemy. The river swells further, spilling its banks, sweeping branches and boulders downstream in a violent rush. The clan clambers onto higher ground, hands gripping vines, feet slipping on slick stone. The infant cries out, the sound nearly lost in the roar of rain. Lightning forks above, illuminating the trees like ghostly pillars, revealing the sheer fragility of their existence. The band huddles beneath a jutting rock ledge, a fragile sanctuary. There they bind wounds with chewed herbs pressed into the skin, an ancient medicine carried in instinct and memory. The storm rages for hours, washing the forest in fury, yet also cleansing it. When the rains finally relent, the survivors emerge into a transformed world. Fallen trees crisscross the ground, pools of water shimmer where earth once stood firm, and the scent of wet fur lingers, a reminder that predators too endure. The band is weaker now, drenched, hungry, and scattered. But they are alive, and life demands motion. They must move to safer ground. As they trek along the ravaged forest edge, a new threat reveals itself, not beast, not storm, but their own kind. Another band of Australopithecus emerges from the shadows, eyes glinting with the same desperation. These are not kin. These are rivals. The two groups stare across the muddy ground, their bodies tense, tools gripped tight. The forest cannot feed all, and conflict is inevitable. One male from the rival band steps forward, brandishing a sharpened branch. In reply, a hunter from the first band lifts his stone muscles coiled like springs. The clash is not yet physical, but every gesture speaks the same language. Survival has no room for mercy. A standoff stretches long, until hunger gnaws deeper than pride. The rival band lunges, and chaos erupts once more. Stones fly, branches crash, bodies grapple in mud. The cries are guttural, wordless, yet filled with meaning, rage, fear, defiance. The infant, hidden in the arms of its mother, is shielded by a circle of defenders, their bodies the only barrier against extinction. Blood mingles with rainwater, not in torrents, but in the primal reminder that survival is always paid for in flesh. The struggle churns like the storm that passed. Mud flies beneath frantic limbs, stone shards scrape flesh, and breath comes in ragged gasps. Yet in this contest, brute force alone does not decide fate. The first band, driven by the desperate unity forged in Predator's shadow and Storm's fury, begins to move as one. They do not scatter but converge, circling, pushing, striking in rhythm. One elder slams a rock against another, sparks leaping like small stars, a signal of defiance. The rival band falters, unnerved by the fire echo without flame, and in their hesitation, the tide shifts. With a surge, the defenders drive their rivals back into the dripping trees. The echoes of the clash fade into the distance, replaced once more by the heavy silence of the forest. Wounds sting, bodies ache, but the infant's cry still rises, fragile, yet unbroken, and this alone is victory. Survival is not triumph, but continuation. They gather what remains of their bundles, roots soaked, but edible spears broken yet sharp enough, and press onward. By dusk, they find refuge in a shallow cave carved into limestone, its walls slick with moss, its floor strewn with fallen leaves. Here, fire is coaxed from friction and patience, the first sparks caught on dry fiber hidden within bark. The flame blossoms small, flickering, yet it transforms the cave into sanctuary. Around it, the band huddles, steam rising from their drenched skin eyes, reflecting the amber glow. The infant suckles quietly, the mother's shoulders finely eased. The night outside is thick with the calls of predators, growls, roars, the crack of branches beneath unseen weight. Yet within the cave, there is a circle of warmth, a fragile fortress built not of stone, but of togetherness. They share their meager food, pass herbs, to soothe cuts, press hands against one another's backs, in silent reassurance. In the heart of danger, they have found not victory, but belonging. And so, the legend of this day settles into memory not as a tale of conquest, but as proof that even against storm beast and rival, the pulse of life endures. What if humans lived in forests ruled by giant predatory cats? The answer is written here in firelight on stone walls. Survival is not dominance. It is unity, persistence, and the unyielding will to remain.